Ladies and gentlemen, I am Guernsey Honore, actor, writer, digital marketer, brand ambassador, and columnist with Authority Magazine. Today, I am honored to welcome a true multi-talented artist and industry powerhouse, Dijon Talton. Many of you may know him for his unforgettable role as Matt Rutherford in the hit series Glee. But what you may not know is that Dijon's remarkable journey is more than just acting. He's a dancer, a singer, and the mastermind behind the Talton Company. Today, we dive into his world of entertainment, discussing his cousin, megastar Megan Good, and exploring their series a la carte on AMC's AllBlk platform. May I graciously, Dijon, invite you to present yourself to our esteemed audience?
Yeah, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Dijon Talton. Like she said, I'm a director, executive producer, showrunner of Carte, as well as an actor, and a plethora of other things. Thank you guys for having me. I'm glad to be here.
No, thank you so much for joining us today. I am very excited, and I hope you are as excited as I am. So thank you. Now, can you take us on a journey into your formative years and the experiences that have shaped you and your remarkable career?
Yeah, so I kind of started acting and dancing, and everything when I was like 3. I was kind of born into it. My mom was a talent manager. My cousins and my sibling, my brother were already in it. So I kind of like started going on auditions and would book the roles because my brother didn't want to be there, to be honest. Uh, and then kind of, continued doing it. Stopped when I was 13 because I got fat. My mom thought it was going to ruin my confidence because I got offered to be a professor too. And then got back into it when I graduated high school. And then booked Glee at 19 was kind of like I was in school to be an entertainment lawyer, and that kind of moved the trajectory from law to entertainment. And now I'm, focusing on building a company and directing and giving back and giving people opportunities.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. We'd love to hear the compelling narrative that led you into this path, like from acting to singing to dancing to filmmaking. I mean, that's very immense. So if you don't mind just kind of telling us how you actually did all that.
Yeah. I think the arts part of it all kind of went together. I started at Debbie Allen's Dance Academy, which everyone was also acting in. I was in like singing groups as a kid, and then being on Glee just kind of presented an opportunity for me to do a solo thing after. How I got to the filmmaking part is I worked with Ava Duvernay on a movie and Anthony Hemingway and Lena Waithe on a TV pilot, and they were all just really successful young up and coming Black filmmakers at the time who were putting something very specific into the universe while being amazing people, and having so much integrity and so much love and making everyone that walked past them feel so full. So I think working with them at that age kind of gave me permission to go after it, meaning directing and producing a little younger. And then God's kind of just ordered my steps, to be honest, and created opportunities and opened doors that people couldn't close. And I'm just grateful.
Amen. Amen. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, as you've been navigating your filmmaking journey, can you say that there were any moments of humor or intrigue that was either funny to you or super interesting or captivating that you want to share with us?
Is there specific moments? Yeah. I mean, I think every day is a specific moment in filmmaking, to be honest. It's a challenge and a battle to the end. Um, Yeah, I don't think I have anything specific. I think I've gotten into some heated debates with the networks or different crew members about different things, but all for the good or the betterment of the project. But I try to keep every day on set humorous and light, and not make things too heavy because we're not curing cancer, It's like in just the opportunity to bless our families and do what we love and show up and work our craft is a gift. So like, what are we so serious about?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Now, one of my like favorite questions that I couldn't wait to ask you. So I've been watching your show, a la carte,
Mhm.
and oh my God, steamy. So so I just wanted to know, like, if you could share with us the inspiration or the driving force that led you and Megan Good, so Megan Good is my woman crush. Yes, I said it for everybody to hear now. That was just between me and my brother and my family, but now everybody knows about it. So that's my
Yeah,
woman crush. Okay. So
understandable, right?
yes, yes. So what led you to create a la carte? Is there like any essential lessons or messages that you would hope to convey through the series?
So we didn't create it. It was created by this young woman named Brianna Hogan, and it was based off a little bit autobiographically about her life when she decided at a point to be a side chick for a gentleman. So the first season was a little autobiographical in that way. The second season has taken that as a launching pad and kind of like explored the world of the characters around them in more depth. But yeah, there's so many lessons. I think a big thing for me and Megan was one, it's a cautionary tale without judgment. Also, that we're both from Los Angeles and grew up in this industry. So the people that we see come and go and how they, inform our decisions, who we become as humans, where we're at. And with a la carte, the messaging is really that you get to be whoever you want to. Like you get to grow into the individual that you want to be, and you don't have to be who people told you to be. That if you're flawed, that doesn't mean that you are discounted, that you can figure it out better next time, that we're in this together, and that humanity is the core, and we all want to be loved and chosen. There's so many things. Yeah, there's so many.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's very nice. I think like when I saw the trailer, and I think one thing that really grabbed me is the line you had where you said sex is easy, relationships are hard. And I was like, this is like very, very true, especially for our generation as like millennials, because we're like, I mean, obviously I can't speak for everyone, but it's easy to meet people and make an initial connection, but then in the long run it's like the deeper thing, it's just, sometimes it doesn't really go past physical attraction and that like infatuation. So I feel like your show can speak to so many people. It's like very realistic. It's like, it's like issues that we face every day.
Yeah, it's very in your face. We're
Yeah.
unapologetically being Black and unapologetic being young and unapologetically being human in the moment. Everyone's on their own journey. And to that point, sex is easy to come and go, but relationships take work, and at the age of like mid-20s, when you start looking for a partner, there's very specific things you're looking for, and it's usually informed by where you are in your journey,
Mhm.
how healed you are, how broken you are, how open you are, what your end goals are in life. So there is no right or wrong way to seek connection. It's just a way of growing to realize the kind of connection you want through the fire.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. All right. So without giving away any major spoilers, can you provide a glimpse into the exciting and pivotal moments that we can anticipate with season uh 2? And are you working on season 3?
Yeah, yeah. So it's a journey right now. Today, episode 7 of 10 released. So there's a lot, and the episodes. Season 1 was 6 episodes, so you can go binge 13 episodes with about that 3 more left. It's been a journey. It's been love, loss, sex,
Yeah.
romance, heartbreak, breakups, rekindles,
Yeah.
family drama. It's really life. You're watching them live in front of your eyes. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. They're not perfect, but they're private moments. And I think oftentimes in life we see people's highlight reels on Instagrams or social media, whatever it is, but we don't know what took them to get there. So the show is like a look at the pretty person behind the picture living out their life to get to that picture. So there's a
Right.
lot
Yeah.
more coming up. I mean, I could go on and on. You watch a couple episodes, you'd be like, oh, there's a lot going on in this show. That's all.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, seriously. I was like, okay, this is like just like I don't know, as like down to earth as it get, because life is really messy. And like you
Yeah.
said, we see the things on Instagram, but we show what we want the world to see, right? On social media and like the outlets and stuff. But then behind the scene, you really don't know what's going on, and it could get pretty hectic. So
Yeah. And
yeah, yeah.
usually the more pretty the picture, the more it took to get there.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, you know. So, and no one's gonna tell you like all the all the hours or sleepless nights it took to get the photo or to edit it. They just want you to see the photo, you know. But sometimes, especially in this generation of comparing our stories, it's like, well, why doesn't my life look that way? Because it's like neither does theirs. But you're like, you're comparing your work in progress to the finished product.
Yes. Yes, that's very, very true. I mean, I tend to do that too with like my own, like I would look at my Instagram and I look at other people's Instagram, and you tend to like compare. And it's like a human thing to do, but you just have to like remind yourself, like we really see what the person want us to see because they're putting that out there. Like there
Yeah.
was a time when I was like, I didn't even want to pursue acting. And I was like, oh, I don't think I'm beautiful enough. I don't think I'm talented enough. You know? And it's just like, but then like you think about it and you're like, okay, well, somebody was brave enough to step up and do it. Why can't I do it? You know what I
Why
mean?
not? Why not?
Yeah. One time I saw a meme and it was like a half bitten apple, but then the perfect side was like towards a mirror and the non-perfect side was like looking back, right? So it's really, and then it says life on social media, and it was the perfect side showing. And then the other bad side was like life in person or something like that, or like real
Real
life.
life.
And I was like, oh my God, it was like kind of like a light bulb moment for me too, to like stop comparing myself. Because sometimes it gets the best of you and you just can't even help it sometimes, but
Yeah,
yeah.
sometimes you put blinders on and boundaries on it just to put
Mhm.
things in perspective. You know, you have to ask yourself, how am I feeling today when you get on there? Or what am I looking for? Or what am I healing from? Or what am I using it to cope with? So that you can, because life is meant to be lived, you know? And that's one thing I had to learn is that we can only give and offer as much as we've experienced. We can only go as deep as we even went ourselves. And sometimes, again, that's not pretty, but it requires us to get into the world and experience it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think, yeah, you're just gonna speak to a lot of people,
Yeah,
so
of
myself included. So thank you.
course, me too.
Now, your work in the entertainment industry has undoubtedly brought you into contact with fascinating individuals. Are there any encounters or connections that left a lasting impression on you that you would like us to know about?
Yeah, I met Barack Obama. That was incredible, life-changing. And I was on the Oprah Winfrey show when I was on Glee, and she knew every cast member's name when we walked out, like not even before the show was on. And there was
Mm.
12. And she remembered everybody's name, was so gracious. And it showed me that like success isn't loud, it's just excellent. You know,
Mhm.
that it isn't the person who needs to take up the most space in the room. It's the person that serves the room the best. And it just
Yeah.
left such an impression of you encounter so many people in life and in industries that purport to be something, and you almost feel like a lot of times you have to purport to be that to be it, or the people who are actually that aren't purporting at all because they're just existing. They are there.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow, thank you. You'd like dropping the gospel. All right. Um, so in the line of that, is there any like mentors or supporters that you feel like played a pivotal role in your journey of just everything, from your singing career to your acting and filmmaking career?
Yeah, I think a huge one is God, to be honest. I think he's my biggest like motivator and like my center for sure. But my parents have been great. My family's really supportive. My friends, like I've had great mentor in Anthony, Hemingway and Lena and Ava, everybody. I think everyone on my journey, I've been grateful because they've left something with me that's pushed me in the right direction, or even the darkness is a blessing. So yeah, so everyone on the journey I'm grateful for because I wouldn't was it Maya Angelou who said I wouldn't give nothing from my journey. So yeah.
Mhm. That's very nice. Um, Could you share a life lesson quote that you think resonate with you and has been guiding you through this journey?
I don't know if it's done all that, but a quote I just realized I liked um was life's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice quote.
Yeah, because you never know, what tomorrow's gonna bring. And we can't decide what happens to us, but we can decide how we respond to it. So just
Mm-hmm.
showing up as the best version of ourselves in every situation. Like it's a biblical word that says, in all seasons, I've learned to be content. Which doesn't mean that I've liked it, which doesn't mean that I've chosen it, which doesn't mean that I've rejoiced in it, but in all seasons, I've learned to be content. Which means that, this way or that way, God's still God, and I'm still fine with his choices.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So diversity in the entertainment industry seems to be a significant issue. Can you share with us if there's any way you try to like incorporate diversity in your film and television projects? I mean, do you do your own casting? Do you use somebody else? But then do you still find a way to like, promote diversity? How do you go about that when you're working on your productions?
So ours is kind of like it's all black. It's on all black, so everyone's black.
Yeah.
So the cool part is we don't have to worry about that with the cast. As far as the heads of the departments, I definitely look for, black and brown people, often women when I can, because it's a women-told story. When we did the pilot the first time, every head of department was a woman other than me and the DP, a black woman at that, was something that we were really proud of. Yeah, so I think it's servicing the talent on the screen that's black and brown, but also allowing people behind the scenes, the PAs, the wardrobe stylist, the production designer, the editors, the music supervisor, all of those be black and brown people, and then women when they can be.
Okay. Okay. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So now you're working on Carte, but do you have any upcoming projects that you're already working on? Do you have anything lined up for when this is over?
Yes, me and my family have a show, God willing, coming out soon. And I'm just like, developing and creating other shows and projects and putting my
Okay.
head down and doing the work, and just excited to put my feet in other arenas.
Okay. Okay. That's very nice. Um, so in your faceted career, is there like any achievements or contribution that you feel like you're most proud of? Is there
I,
anything that you exemplify pride for you?
I was proud when we won the Screen Actors Guild for Glee. My mom was there. I think that was
Okay.
a moment to be able to like experience with her and for her like to like be next to me when they called us up there and see that. That's a really proud moment for me. Also because I feel like it was a proud moment for her. And
Mm-hmm.
it was, like she felt like she did a good job with me. And that makes me proud.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So now is like the key question of our interview. Could you share 5 invaluable insights you wish someone had told you before you started your filmmaking journey?
That it's all encompassing, which means that it takes everything when you're in production, especially if you're at the top.
Mhm.
Um, be clear on your perspective and your why, even from a character standpoint. Um, that's not easy.
Mhm.
Um, to put God at the center of it because you'll need to lean on him and for him to hold you up. To not think that you can do everything by yourself, you need a team. And lastly, to never lose the fun in it and to never forget you prayed for this.
Yeah. Okay. Amen. That's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. When you're like working on a project, as a filmmaker, you make numerous artistic and cinematic decisions. Do you feel like your most significant influence is the audience, the critics, the financiers, or is it more of your own personal artistic vision?
I think it's a mixture. I think that I definitely walk into projects with an idea of what I want to do, what I want to say, and how it's different. I
Mhm.
then about the platform and their audience that we're servicing, and how they'll receive the message and or be entertained. I don't often think about the critics. I think opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Um, but yeah, I think about all encompassing how to best serve the story and the why, like I was saying. Like, why are we telling it? Who is it for? Who can it touch? Where's the authenticity lie? And then everything lands on top of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. Uh, you possess a great deal of influence, and if you could initiate a movement that you feel like would bring the most good to the most amount of people, what would it be? You know?
I think that the movement would be self-love and then love for your neighbor. I think that there's a problem that we've always had, that people we don't understand or that aren't like us, we villainize and then victimize, you know? And if we can see the humanity in each other, we can see the God in each other. And that usually starts by seeing the God in ourselves, by healing ourselves, by not judging ourselves, by not thinking we're inadequate first. Um, then we can really live in a harmony that we haven't seen yet, or at least a tolerance where I don't have to like your decision, but it's not for me to like it. It's not my life.
Yes.
It's for me to
Yes.
respect it and respect you as a human.
Yes. Again, you're preaching the gospel all over
Yeah.
again. If you want to go, I released an article about self-love. I feel like when I read it, I feel like I was speaking to me as much as I felt like I was speaking to other people. And it's not because I don't love myself, I do, but then I think writing it, certain questions that I was asked, right, really like led me to think deeper. And I was like, man, I'm like a lot more patient with other people than I am with myself. I'm a
Mhm.
lot more critical of myself than I am with other people.
Yeah.
But I'm also human and I make mistakes. So if I'm killing myself for something that I would like to shrug my shoulder, that if somebody else did it,
Yeah.
why should I kill myself over it? And I want to hold myself to like higher standards, but again, I'm human. So I'm like, I need to be more patient with me. I need to like not, like it was like a real like moment for me to just kind of think about it. I'm like, man, that's really been hard on me. Like I need to love me more.
Because we think we're supposed to be perfect and we're the exception to the rule, where the truth is we have to give ourselves as much grace as we give other people, you know? And that oftentimes it informs how we see people because we have such high expectations for ourselves, so that we can have it of them, and then we give them the grace when they fall short. But then it's like, how can I love you more than I love me?
Yeah.
How can I protect you more than I protect me? And oftentimes it's a boundary issue, because it's easier to serve somebody else than to serve ourselves, because then we're also responsible for that service of ourselves and those decisions and those flaws. Like we decided that with them, we can give them the grace that they'll learn better, but we often think we know better and we don't. We're
Yeah.
just figuring it out too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I literally sometimes feel like I'm like immune to certain things, not because I'm like better than like other people, but I'm like, I'm like, okay, I know not to do that. I would never do that. And then I do it. I'm not like, oh. I'm like, oh, I'm doing what I told other people not to do. Why is wrong with
Yeah,
me? And then if
but
they
that
did
gives
it,
you
it's like,
empathy.
okay, right, right,
Yeah.
right.
It
It's
gives you
just
empathy to know, like the moment we experience something we never thought we would. It's like, oh, well, I would say we can say, like, I would never, until we figure out we would if put in this situation. I would never do this unless I would never choose this person unless I was in, And at that point, you go, oh, maybe that's why they did
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's just a yeah, yeah. It
it.
I have the word. This is really what it is. It just takes
Yeah.
something to happen to be like, oh my God, now I get it. So yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, thank you.
Um, in our readership, we have influential figures from various domains who read our column. Is there any person at all in the US, on the globe, that if you had the opportunity to have a private lunch or breakfast with, that you would want to do it with, and what would you want to tell them?
Beyonce.
Beyonce. Okay.
Beyonce, because she's also a Virgo. It would have been like Michael Jackson if I mean if he was still alive. Um, well, I wouldn't might want to tell her anything, but I would want to ask, some of her greatest lessons. I think she has a spirit of excellence and a drive that I haven't seen before, and that she works her butt off. So I think I'd want to absorb as much knowledge of
Okay.
leadership that she's, encompassed, and just any tidbits I can. I think just being around excellence rubs off. So
Okay. Thank you. Our last question is, how can our readers follow up with you if they wanted to, follow you on social media? What is your account? What is your handle? How would they be able to follow you?
yeah, so all my accounts are my name, Dijon, Talton, Dijon, spelled like the mustard. And the show's accounts are a la carte, all black on Instagram, I think Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and then the show's actual platform that it streams on, Watch All Black. That's their handle as well, Watch All Black. And that can be found on like Prime Video, Roku, Apple, anywhere that they sell, or you can download an app, you can find a la carte, season 1 and 2.
All right. Thank you so, so much for sharing your insights and your experiences with us. We anticipate continued success in your endeavors.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you. Until then,
Thank you. Same to you. Be safe
thank
out there
you.
in Iceland. And if
I
you
will.
you stay there, be careful.
Yeah.